This video will cover some basic concepts in using SSDforR. First, we're going to cover how to open a CSV file that you've created in Excel. And second, we're going to go over creating a simple line chart. So, as was mentioned in the previous video, in every session you need to require the SSDforR package. And there are two ways to do this. You can click on Packages because you've already installed it, and you can simply just click on the checkbox next to SSDforR, or you could, in the console, simply type require SSDforR. Very simple. Okay, now that the package is available, we can start using some of its functions. So let's begin by opening up a file that you should have downloaded from our website called SSD.CSV, and I've put it in a directory called SSD data. So I'm going to type in the command get CSV, and be mindful of the uppercase G, and hit enter. And I'm going to open SSD.CSV, and you'll notice a set of instructions come up. And in order to begin working with the file, every time you open a new file, you need to type this command, attach SSD. So let's go ahead and do that. And hit enter. Now the file is in memory and you can work with it. And if you want to get an alphabetical listing of the names, simply type list names followed by open and closed parentheses. Oops, I spelled it wrong. It should be list names, not list name. And it's alphabetical. If you want to get a listing in the order in which the variables are placed in the file, you can use the R command, names, and in parentheses type SSD. And now we have them in the order they are in the file. So let's do a line graph of the behavior variable cry and it's associated to the phase variable pcry. And let's begin by getting help. You can simply click on the hyperlink SSDforR, as you learned in the previous video, and we can look up that command, abplot. Here it is, and you can see it's abplot, and then here are the different pieces of information that are needed. We have to put in the behavior variable, the phase variable, and if you'd like, the different labels. Okay, so let's type in abplot and cry, comma, pcry, and we'll label the x-axis weeks, and the y-axis will be amount. And you notice that they have to be enclosed, the titles have to be enclosed in quotation marks. And finally, cry as our main title. And hit enter. And we now are in the plots window, and you can see the three different phases, A, B, and B1. If you want to put lines between the phases, you can simply type the command AB lines, and in between the parentheses the behavior variable, in this case cry, and hit enter. And now you would put the cursor somewhere in the gap actually. And oh, I don't like that line, it's touching, so I'm going to type no, I'm not going to accept it. And I'm going to just press the up arrow key, which will bring back the previous command, and I'm going to hit enter. And I'm going to put it right here. It'll make it easier for me to see the gap. Okay, now that's a pretty good line, and I'm going to accept it. Look at the console, typing in yes, and now I am going to do the same for the next phase. A, B lines, and cry, and I'm going to put it right in the gap, cursor, and click my mouse, and there's my line. I might want to move it over a little more, so I'm going to not accept it. I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to press page up to get the command back, and get a little closer, and there you go. Alright, that's much nicer. Okay, so now we have lines separating our phases, and suppose you wanted to be able to put a mean line in the A phase. You would simply type AB stat, and then you would type the behavior variable followed by the phase variable, followed by the letter of the phase you want to base the mean on, and then in quotation marks mean, and hit enter. And now I will put it at the beginning of the A phase, and now we have a mean line, and I'm going to accept that line. Now you could also do the median. You would just replace mean with median, and you could do this, other functions. You could look it up in the help file. So let's press page up, and now let's put the mean in the B phase, and hit enter. And I'm going to click the mouse in beginning of the B phase, and I'm going to accept it. And I'm going to do the same again, page up, and I'm going to change B to B1, and hit enter because it's the B1 phase. And now I have mean bars for each of the phases. So we can see that it's steadily going down between phases, the crying behavior. And I'm going to accept it. And now that you have the graph, if you wanted to export it and put it into a Word document, you would click on Export and copy plot to clipboard, and then you get to review it and click copy plot again, and you would go into Word and just paste it into Word. Okay, well that's the end of the video for today. Have fun.